summer was good to Heather.
She could pass for 9th grade easy.
What a country.
You're quite lucky indeed to be taking my civics class during an election year. You'll witness firsthand the greatest spectacle in the history of democratic governments, the choosing of the American president. Now, as you watch the debate tonight, you will see two men articulating their beliefs, their ideals, their visions of our great country's future, hoping to inspire the people to elect him as leader of the free world.
You'd think the Founding Fathers might have built the White House in a better neighborhood.
Well, if he gets reelected, maybe we can have him sign an executive order moving the capital to the Hamptons.
Right.
Nice writing, Gene.
Thanks, Mr. President.
So, we all agree this is it? I don't want to go out there and make a mistake. Not tonight.
My polling data indicates that that speech covers 82% of the concerns of working-class Americans within $6,000 of the median family income.
You're sure?
Well, plus or minus 5 percentage points.
Well, minus 5 percentage points, and we'll all be looking for a job next year.
Right.
Every vote counts in an election year. Even his.
Thanks for letting me work on this with you.
Yeah, no problem. Was it your mom or dad this time?
Ah, it was my dad. He's trying to reformat a disk and he erased the hard drive.
When will parents learn? A computer is not a toy.
Actually, he was kind of wondering if you'd want to come over and fix it.
Again?
Well, I told him there was no way. I mean, school and all.
What'd you get me this time?
Mortal Carnage. Deluxe CD-ROM version.
Mike, you didn't have to do that. I would have done it for him anyway.
I know that. And you know that. But my dad doesn't know that.
Kenny, your mom wants to know where your new Orioles jacket is.
I left it in my locker.
Well, bring it home tomorrow. You don't want something to happen to it.
Yeah, I'll try to remember.
Could you play a little quieter on that thing, son?
I'm cruising the net, Dad.
Well, at least turn the game down a bit.
It's not a game, Dad. It's for school. Our civics class is meeting on the internet to discuss the presidential debate, live, as it happens.
Oh, well, could you discuss it a little quieter? I want to watch Home Improvement. It's the one where Tim and Jill have a misunderstanding about his tools.
Home Improvement will not be seen tonight so that we may bring you the first presidential debate between President A. Thornton Osgood III and Senator Allen Harris.
For crying out loud. Here we go. Another politician talking at me and not to me, like I'm just a number.
I take it your dad's not voting for President Osgood.
He doesn't vote. Says it doesn't make a difference, so what's the point?
My fellow Americans, tonight, I want to talk to you, the working middle class of America.
Well, talk fast. I want my shows back.
I don't need to tell you that the problems you face are as exigent as they are amplitudinous. I'm sure you probably say this to yourselves every day.
Great job, Mr. President. Our focus group polling data should show that you really keyed in on our target demographic.
I really think that you struck a chord with the average Joe tonight, Mr. President.
No, that was weak.
I'll say.
What was the point of watching that?
I think next time I'd rather watch Home Improvement.
Agreed. That was boring. Mr. Campbell sure made it sound a lot more exciting than it actually was.
Yeah, neither one of them actually answered the questions.
I mean, could you imagine if we answered like that in a test? We'd flunk.
Next time, we play Mortal Carnage. Oh, what do you tell your parents about the jacket?
Greg?
Hey, Kenny Money.
I was just wondering if you were done borrowing my Orioles jacket.
Does it look like I'm done borrowing your Orioles jacket, Kenny?
No, it's just that.
Just that what, Kenny? You know what? I'm gonna do you a big favor. I'm gonna borrow your lunch. And then maybe I might forget about this whole thing, all right?
You need to stand up to him.
Me and what army? He's the only kid in our grade who shaves.
Face it, Matthew has won every class election since 4th grade.
You know what? I even heard he spent more on his campaign than the mayor himself.
And all he does is stuff that benefits him and his rich buddies.
And why don't you run, Kenny?
I don't have what it takes. An indoor swimming pool and a dad who owns a go-kart track. He's right behind me, isn't he? Oh, no. Is it Craig Swan?
Could I talk to you a minute, Kevin?
Kenny.
Sorry, Kenny.
Oh, no, not that Kevin's not a cool name or anything. In fact, my parents were probably considering naming me Kevin. Probably.
Deep breath, you're losing it.
So, what's up?
Alone?
Alrighty, we'll just snug these puppies up here. Everything's tickety-boo, and we're all set, Mr. President.
I hate this computer stuff.
Well, it's very important, sir, that we get you up to speed on the internet and the various online services so you can make an informed decision on the Zimmer bill.
Right.
Now, if I could just...
Madison. What is this thing?
It's a radio, sir.
Radio. Madison, how many times have I told you, don't leave your things in the Oval Office. Go play in the Vice President's office.
Dad, I'm 14 years old. I wasn't playing. I was waiting for you. Remember, we're supposed to talk about me going to the garbage concert?
Oh, right, yeah. I got hung up with the French president. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Did you like Francois Jr.?
Oh, he's a dork.
Well, I hope you didn't tell him that, especially since the trade agreement isn't signed yet.
Well, what about the concert? The speaker's letting his kids go.
I don't care what the Democrats are letting their kids do. You're my daughter.
Yeah, but Dad,
No, don't but Dad me. You live in my house. You follow my rules.
Technically, it belongs to the taxpayers, Dad.
And don't talk back to me. I get enough of that from Congress.
Well,
Madison, you want to help me learn computers?
Oh, sounds like a blast, Dad.
Say, John Tesh is coming to the state dinner next week. If you want, you can invite some of your friends over for a private concert. Would you like that? Was that a yes?
Now, sir, as I was saying, if we can just go into this here.
Oh, what do we got? David, could you excuse us for a minute, please?
Oh, certainly, Mr. President.
Thank you. Well, sir, I don't want to beat about the bush. Tom?
Unfortunately, according to our most accurate polling data, 67% of Americans felt that your opening and closing speeches last night showed that you're still out of touch with the average American.
Out of touch? Balderdash! What about that photo op last year, me playing squash?
She wants me to tutor her.
But I hope you told her absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is, unless she used to go to the fall dance you did this semester. She should talk to me first.
Mike, Heather Boyd is coming over to my house. Alone. With me. Me, the guy who couldn't get a kiss off Cheryl Peterson and spin the bottle.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Yeah. Mike.
So, the bill would ban transmission of pictures from popular websites like this one.
Is that really Rosie O'Donnell?
Well, it's not her body, sir. It's a computer-generated image, actually.
Oh.
Okay, so when this boots up, we'll be all set.
Thanks for helping me with this.
Oh, no problem. Just glad I was able to fit it into my schedule.
Sometimes it takes a while to get the hang of it, Mr. President, sir. Why don't you try clicking the left mouse button?
Okay, now, press any key.
Which one's the any key?
No, any meaning all of them.
I press all the keys?
No, just one.
Oh.
And whatever you do, Mr. President, don't ever press the Control-Alt-Delete buttons at the same time.
Why, does that scramble the bombers?
No, sir. It reboots your computer.
Remember? That reboots the computer. Again. Yeah, don't worry about that book report. I can just retype it.
Thanks, David. Come back and teach me again sometime.
Uh-huh. Next time, do me a favor. Call Bill Gates.
Thanks.
Who is this party man?
Well, it could be anyone, sir. Anywhere in the country. That's the thing about these chat rooms. You can use any screen name you want, like Party Man. And then you're free to join in. Talk, post messages. You're completely anonymous.
And Zimmer, he wants to regulate these chat rooms.
Well, no, not all of them, sir. Just the salacious ones, like this one, with the posting from Hot Hun.
Oh, yes. But not all of them are sexual in nature, right?
Absolutely not. Some of them are political. Of course, some of these should be regulated as well.
And this is the school's website. Now, you can click here to link up to the classroom or teacher you want to get an assignment from, if you're sick or miss school, or whatever.
Do, like, the teachers have copies of tests on there?
Yeah, but we can't get into that section. Now, if you click here to
Wait, about that other part. That's where they have their tests? And answers?
Yeah, but you need a teacher's account and stuff.
Could someone really smart like you get into it? I mean, if you wanted to.
I'm sure I could figure out a way.
Really?
Yeah, but that would be cheating.
Right. It's just, well, I was kind of having a problem in Mr. Campbell's civics class.
Hey, me too. It's kind of tough.
Well, hey then, want to check out that teacher section? Just to see if you could do it. Just once?
Heather, I don't think that that's such a good idea. Besides, we could get into a lot of trouble.
Right, well, I understand. I gotta get home. My mom doesn't like me out late on a school night.
Right, sure, you want me to walk you to the corner?
No, that's okay. Bye.
Right, see you later.
Do you think I only care about the rich, Fran? I care about the average American, don't I?
If they vote for you, dear, go to sleep now.
Here goes. I did it!
Did what? What are you still doing up, Kenny?
Homework for my civics class. We're to get voter opinions about the debate in the chat rooms.
You know, I don't like you going into those chat rooms. You hear all these stories about people luring kids away from their homes.
I'm using Dad's screen name, Mom. Big Jack W. So people won't know it's me. Besides, this is just politics. These people aren't freaks, just boring. See this guy? Average Joe.
Yeah.
He wants to know what people thought of the president in the debate. I'm telling him that if he gave answers like that in school, he would flunk. Now he wants to know why. Because he never really answered the questions. He talked and talked, but didn't seem to say anything.
Oh, Joe seems to disagree, hon. He says the president did give answers.
A couple of times at best, Ma, but he didn't say how he would do it. He said he'd balance the budget, but how? It's like in math class. You can't just give the answer, you have to show your work.
I didn't know you were so politically aware.
I am, Ma. You know, Dad doesn't even watch the presidential debates anymore. He says politicians talking at me, not to me, like I'm just a number. I'll tell him that, too.
Okay, Abe Lincoln, time for bed.
Okay, Ma, last one. He wants to know how to change it.
If they just told the truth, people would vote for them, even if they didn't agree 100%.
So I say to you, education is the cornerstone of our souls, our communities, our country.
Brilliant. He's got them.
Cornerstone of my what?
Thank you, and I hope I can count on your support in November.
That's it? We all know education's great. That's why we're teachers. But what about us? What's supposed to be the cornerstone of my future when I don't even know if I'll have a job each year?
I understand.
How can you understand? No one in your family has had to work for 3 generations.
I know you don't believe this, but I feel frustration for people like you, too. Politicians don't talk to you anymore. They talk at you, like you're some number. You hear the same answers from each politician, yet no one will tell you how they're going to accomplish what they say they're going to do. For you math teachers, that's kind of like a student solving a math problem, but not showing you his work. It makes you kind of skeptical about how he arrived at the answer. Sir, I suppose that if you had me in one of your classes, I'm guessing from the tone of your remarks that you might not be giving me a passing grade. Well, then I guess I just have to do better, if I don't want to flunk out, so to speak. Lucky for me, the final exam isn't until November, so hopefully you'll hold off on grading me until then. And please, grade on a curve.
Mr. President, the passion in your speech was amazing. Does this signal a shift in your campaign strategy?
I think I set it all up there. Thank you.
His off-the-cuff remarks at the NATO conference have struck a chord. The latest poll, taken 13 minutes after the speech, showed the president's approval rating shot up 4 percentage points. That's good news just 2 days before the second presidential debate.
Nice work, Mr. President.
And that's when the president lit the room on fire with these words.
So hopefully you'll hold off on grading me until...
Round or dash! Yes, it's time once again for America's favorite game show.
Ta-da! All right! Allows you to wage war in real time, as either the Allies or the rebels, pushing you to the very brink of
of nuclear annihilation. This is so cool. Don't you think, Ken? Kenny, if I wanted to do homework, I could have stayed at home.
I want to show you something.
Whoa. Kenny, I want you to know, whatever you're about to do, I support you completely. I mean, those aren't, they aren't what I think they are they?
They're not for me. Heather was wondering if I could do it.
Yeah, I get it.
Look, I don't know if this is...
What words made him think? Who's Average Joe?
Some guy I met in a chat room. He better not be some kind of...
Well, who is he? What does he do? You can tell him his typing stinks. What kind of work do you do?
Homework.
Ah, grad student. That explains it. Went school. Oh, teacher.
Why does he think you're a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. Just slipped off the chair. Up. Loose wheel. Yeah, I fixed it. That'll be all. Thanks. Eighth grade.
My opponent just doesn't get it. You know, we live in a much safer world today. A different world than our parents lived in. The big Soviet threat no longer exists. So let's slash defense spending to the core. Let us start over.
He's eating him alive.
I know. Can't we issue a statement tomorrow? Something like, oh, I don't know, still not feeling good or something.
Mr. President, how would you curb the rampant overspending in the defense industries?
He's freezing.
You know, I've thought long and hard about this. And I think we should make defense spending like the TV game show Spell for Cash. You see, in the old days, when a contestant on Spell for Cash won the round, he couldn't go anywhere with his money. They could only select items from the game show store. That's why you had contestants going home with $6,000 porcelain tigers that were really only worth about $200. It's the same with the defense industry. We only get to choose from 2 or 3 contractors. That's why the U.S. taxpayer is stuck with $400 toilet seats. But the contestants were starting to get unhappy, and viewers were starting to switch channels and watch hard copy or something. So the spell producers got smart. They started paying their winners in cash, and they can spend their money wherever they like. So if someone really feels the need for a porcelain tiger, they can go out and get the best deal. Therefore, I think we should make defense spending like the new Spell for Cash. Let's give ourselves some more and better choices. Let's open up the contracts to others. Don't lock ourselves into the Guy selling us the defense equivalent of $6,000 porcelain tigers.
Mr. Harris, would you like to respond?
No.
Okay, then. The next question for our candidates this evening is...
Points, sound bites, contingency remarks, and I failed to find a single mention of TV game shows in our preparation from last night. Would you explain that? If you want to, Mr. President.
Those facts and figures were too stuffy. I mean, who are we talking to half the time? I want people to relate to what I'm talking about.
Would you just let me know next time, I mean, if there are going to be any Sesame Street references in the State of the Union address? I just would like to be able to put some spin on the fallout.
Has anybody seen my keys?
Can't help you there, Dad.
Thank you, Kenny.
To say he stunned the nation would be an understatement, but the response has been overwhelming.
How can you not like what he's saying? Everyone can relate.
He struck a chord with the average American.
What was the question again?
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually starting to like the things President Osgood is saying.
It's all a bunch of crap. He doesn't even write the stuff. It's probably all from some Yale speechwriter.
When did this arrive, Vladimir?
Last night, sir.
Friends or not, send this to Moscow right away. And Vladimir, start a file on this Big Jack W.
佢個戶口，佢嘅先生 Big Jack W.
We just intercepted this from the Iranian embassy. Looks like there could be a mole very close to the president.
All right, get all our agents on it. Find out who this Big Jack W is.
So, if anyone is interested in supporting my campaign, the meetings will be held at Cox Family Amusements. And my dad did say he would provide free tokens to the arcades and batting cages.
Heather! Hi. Kenny, I'm kind of busy right now.
Oh, it's, just I did that thing we talked about last night. On the computer.
Is this the test?
Shh. It's last semester's final for Mr. Campbell. Probably hasn't put the new one out yet.
You're the best, Kenny.
You're the best, Kenny Winnie. And if you don't mind, and I know you won't, I'll have that test when you're done with it too, okay?
And the momentum is building for the Osgood campaign. Once politically left for dead, his campaign is catching on. He now trails Harris by...
Now, just what the Sam Hill's going on here? Anybody? Steve. 2 weeks ago, President Osgood was so out of touch with the average American. His idea of fast food was only having a 4-course meal. Now he's quoting game shows, and everybody thinks he's Middle America's new poster boy.
Maybe he's a fan of the show?
You're fired. Now, somebody please find out who's advising him.
Yes, Mr. President.
Ah, Katherine. I thought we should have a talk. You've been wondering where I'm getting my new campaign rhetoric. Well, I think you should sit down for this one. I told you should sit down. Oh, I'm fine. She's fine. She tripped. Thanks.
All due respect, sir. This is a joke, right?
Even I couldn't make that one up.
You are asking me to tell the American people in an election year that the leader of the most powerful nation on earth is taking policy advice from an 8th grader he met in a chat room on the U.S. online network?
I want to meet him, Katherine. The kid's a gold mine.
You can't be serious.
Maybe he's some sort of a child prodigy, a political Mozart.
I have a 9-year-old grandson who just built a spectacular tree fort. We should get him in here. He could be the Secretary of Defense.
Katherine. Bottom line, how many points are we up in the polls?
Well, at least let me see if he checks out.
Dad, are you coming?
You go. I'll try and meet you up there.
Here he comes.
Got it.
Mother, it's you in position. Coming your way, Bob Pop.
Roger that.
What are you doing? Trying to get hit in the face?
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
What it?
Well, maybe it's stuck.
Collect? Yes, I'll accept the charges. Very funny, Boris. Listen, I had to veto the aid package. Well, it's an election year. Surely you understand. Listen, Boris, I tell you what, I'll push something through Congress after November 4th. That's the best I can do. Great. And the next time the call's on your bill. Right. Uh-huh. All right. Boris, I really have to go. Dos vidania to you, too. Bye. Well, I think I'll talk your ear off. Katherine, send him something. I don't know. Michigan cherries, a gift. A show of good faith until then.
Well, actually, Mr. President, our sources suggest that he won't even survive this week's vote of confidence in the Duma.
Really? Oh, forget it then. What's up?
Well, sir, we checked out your advisor.
Katherine, don't you start with me now.
I don't trust Osgood. He broke word in past. But just to be safe, send him box of Siberian vodka as goodwill gesture.
Our sources at Economic Development Office in Washington tell us he most likely will lose election.
Never mind that. But we must find out what he is thinking.
Sources think they are close to identifying the big Jack W.
Maybe he should get a visit from Economic Development Office.
So, aside from the fact that he consistently leaves the 10 pin, he's clean.
What did you expect, Katherine? A 13-year-old double agent? Let's get him in here.
Mr. President, if you want him to come to Washington, I urge you to do it discreetly.
I have to disagree. Keep it open. Because if that gets out, it'll look bad. And trust me, it always gets out.
No, not true. I mean, FDR was in a wheelchair, and that was kept a secret.
That was a different time. The president was treated more deferentially by the press.
Okay. What about Richard Nixon's hairpiece?
Really? Well, that's beside the point. I think the spin that we put on this is that even in an election, the president still has time to exchange ideas with the average citizen.
Exchanging ideas and having some kid from middle school who's got a C average in civics class advising the president of the United States of America are two different things.
Well, he wouldn't be advising, Katherine. He'd merely help to paraphrase things so that they didn't sound so political.
So how do you propose to meet Mozart?
Mr. Campbell, Tom Brooks, I work with the president.
Oh, this is such an honor. Baltimore's middle school civics teacher of the year. I don't know what to say.
Me neither.
You know, I wasn't even aware I'd been nominated. I've been telling the kids about the election.
Great, that's just great. We're just glad that you and your class are able to make this special tour on such short notice. Oh, and here's your certificate of recognition.
The White House has 132 rooms, 32 bathrooms, 147 windows, 412 doors, 12 chimneys, 3 elevators, and 7 staircases. And until the Civil War, the White House was the biggest house in the United States. Now, if you follow me, we'll head over to the East Room.
Kenneth Witkowski?
Yeah?
Would you come with me, please?
I didn't touch anything, I swear. Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
I don't think so, sir.
Bowling! The other night, you were bowling in the lane next to me.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, sir.
The way you bowled, I don't blame you. So what do you want?
Your president needs to see you.
Matthew Cox?
Not that president, sir.
I really should be getting back to my class. My teacher... Oh, okay, I was just holding the pen. He snuck up on me. I wasn't gonna take it. Here.
Welcome to the White House, Kenny. Or should I say, Big Jack W. I'm A. Thornton Osgood III, but you probably know me best as Average Joe.
What?
I'm the one you've been talking to online. The, bad typist.
Are you trying to say that you're the guy I thought was a weirdo? Wow! This is like, wow! This isn't about the pen, is it?
Here. Have a seat, Kenny.
Oh, wasn't that exciting? Okay, next up is the Blue Room, which is used as the reception room for foreign dignitaries. Come on.
Sounds pretty cool, Kenny? Kenny?
Me? But I'm a B- student in civics class.
Actually, Kenny, that will drop to a C when you get your last test back. You had a problem with...
This isn't about grades, Kenny.
I've witnessed firsthand during our computer chats that you have a lot of great ideas and a way to make them accessible to the people.
Yeah, but I don't know enough about political stuff.
Well, who does?
I can't wait to get back to school and tell everybody about this.
No.
Well, I have to tell Mr. Campbell. I mean, this has got to be worth some sort of extra credit. My parents?
Actually, we'd prefer...
No, you can tell your parents, but it has to be a secret.
So, how can I help?
Kenny, have you seen the latest polls?
Yes, of course.
Not good.
They're wrong. No way Michigan should be ranked behind Southern Cal. There's no way, no how. I mean, don't they look at schedule strength and power ratings?
Could you all excuse us for a minute? Katherine. So, have you ever been here before? Irene, send in Gene, my speechwriter. No! We don't like to pick this up.
The state dining room here accommodates 140 guests. And
Have you seen Kenny?
The Andrew Jackson administration that they started calling it the state dining room. Any questions? Okay, well, that concludes our tour for the day. I want to thank you all for coming out and see. Well, hey, I guess today's your lucky day. We're going to take you on the special extended tour because Mr. Campbell here is the Maryland's middle-aged civil teacher of Baltimore for Oh, come on.
Kenny, this is Gene Collings, my speechwriter.
Hi.
So? Tell me, Kenny, what do you think about the Zimmer bill?
I don't know.
Do you like it? This desk was a gift to President Rutherford B. Hayes from Queen Victoria in 1880. So, what do you think?
Well, it's a nice piece of wood.
No, I mean about the Zimmer bill.
Well,
I have an idea. Why don't we try to find a place in here where you might be a little more comfortable?
So if the First Amendment says that Congress shall make no law, I don't get it.
Well, it's not that simple, Kenny. Senator Zimmer and a lot of people from my party, they support this bill. There's a lot of pressure.
But it is that simple. If they give you any problem, just show them a copy of the Constitution and ask if theirs is the same. Good idea. Keeps people from stealing them, huh?
Well, I'm not that worried about it.
Have this on everything?
Seems like it.
Your turn.
Oh, no, I don't play. My daughter, Madison, she comes down here sometimes with her friends, and, well, I keep promising, but I don't usually have the time.
I always have time for bowling.
Really? You leave the 10-pin quite a bit.
For a guy that doesn't play, good observation. Who's that?
It's a man with football.
Great. We can toss that around later.
And this is bathroom 30 of the 32 here at this White House. And, well, you'll notice that the sink has two handles. One on the left controls all the hot water operation, and the one on the right for the cold. You sure you don't have any other questions? Yeah. Okay, and, oh, it's important to know that this faucet is always on standby in case the president's in this part of the building, and, you know, he may want to wash his hands or rinse something off or fill an iron or make some tea. And that about covers it.
Oh, That's it? Well, are you sure there's no more questions? If not, then it's back to school.
Yes!
Okay, let's go.
What happened to you?
I went to the bathroom.
For 3 hours? What? Use all 32 of them?
Do you have a microwave oven?
No.
High tides and heavy surf. Okay, Jack.
This thing has been nothing short of a... President Osgood wants to talk about game shows. His administration is like Jeopardy. You ask a lot of questions without knowing any answers.
On Jeopardy, they give you the answers. You have to supply the questions, Senator.
Well, I guess I am no Wink Martindale.
That's Alex Trebek.
Wink Martindale? Who advises this guy?
Then he held up a copy of the Constitution and asked if theirs was the same.
Hey, who's winning?
Mom! Dad! You're not going to believe what happened on my field trip today.
The Secret Service loved him.
The American people love the Olsen twins. That doesn't mean they want them to have the president's ear.
Oh, Catherine.
The minute he tells his parents, this is going to be all over the news.
And then we went bowling.
So, you went bowling with the president. That's nice, hon. Spatula?
Yeah, and then he asked me about this bill. So then I said...
Jack, are you listening? Your son went bowling with the president. And then he gave him some advice.
Great, son. What'd you roll?
You guys don't believe me.
Sure we do, Kenny. Now go wash up for dinner.
Fine.
You know, that's a cry for attention. I saw it on Oprah.
The funniest home video is when the guy accidentally steps on a rake and gets hit between the legs.
Yeah. Anybody watch Face the Press yesterday? I'm kidding.
Okay, class, take on our writing implement and a piece of paper. We're going to have a little quiz on our visit to the White House yesterday.
So, where are you guys from again? European Economic Development Office in Washington. Well, this is where we ship out our product. Now, this man here, for example, he's one of... this is Jack Witkowski. Yes, Jack Witkowski. These guys are from the European Economic Development Office in Washington.
Washington? Pretty cold there these days.
Yes, has been very cold in Washington lately. We would like to see it warmer in Washington.
Not just Washington, but all over the East.
East to A Street.
Yep. Well, I wish I could do something about the weather.
I see. Thank you, Big Jack W.
No problem, big foreign guy.
Well, I thought we would have taken a beating from our own party with that stand on the Zimmer bill. Wrong.
I don't get it. All you did was hold up a piece of paper.
That piece of paper was the Constitution, Catherine.
Yeah, but still, I would never have imagined. Kid's a political savant.
Kenny, would you stay after class for a second?
I just finished grading your quiz on the White House.
You didn't get one question right.
But I said all that stuff about the Oval Office.
Kenny, we didn't visit the Oval Office. And what's this about a bowling alley? The opportunity of a lifetime. And you didn't even pay attention.
He's idiot. It must be elaborate misinformation campaign. A hoax.
Are you sure?
When Yuri tried to recruit him, he thought Yuri actually was talking about weather.
Hello?
Kenny?
Yes?
Please hold for the president.
Kenny, I wondered if you had any free time today for a little bowling.
Bowling?
We'll send a car.
That'd be great. Could you hold on for a second? I got another call. Hello? Heather!
Call waiting.
No, I haven't had a chance to get back on the website yet. Listen, can I call you right back? I've got another call. Dance? Yeah, could you hold on for just a second? Hi, sorry about that. I'll be right back. It's kind of important. No, I'm not going with anyone to the dance yet? Me? And you? Us? Together? No, I will help you out. It's just, I've been kind of busy. Right. Okay, you too. Bye. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Mom, I'm going to help out the president.
Hold it right there, Kenny. Where are you really going?
To the White House.
Young man, if you don't tell me the truth, you're not leaving the house.
Mom, I really am.
Kenneth, Eugene.
Fine, I'm going to Mike's.
That's better.
Okay, who had the anchovies? Okay, we have a lot of work to do before the next debate, so let's get to it.
Oh, and Kenny, we might be needing you around a little more, so here's a number for a direct line and a beeper, and we'll cover for you.
What did your parents say?
They don't believe me.
Good. Grief. How can they not believe?
Today, class, I'd like to discuss with you...
Lieutenant Witkowski, please report to the principal's office.
Kenny, your Aunt Katherine called. Said you had to leave early today. Seems there's been some family emergency. Your Uncle Ozzie in Washington?
There are amplitudinous challenges facing today's college students.
Whoa, amplitudinous?
Large, huge, sizable.
May I?
Chinese Office of Technology.
Kenny, I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but your Uncle Ozzie's taken a turn for the worse.
And there are sizable problems facing today's college students. But sizable problems are simply opportunities for bigger solutions.
Mom? Yeah, I'm going to be home a little late for dinner. We've run into some amplitudinous problems at the chess club meeting. Of course I'm still at school. Mom, I wouldn't tell a lie. And that's why the attack helicopters work so well against the enemy tanks. So, who wants to play first?
Related to the upcoming presidential election, I want you to watch 3 news magazines again.
My uncle's liver transplant.
Oh, looky here. Where's my test copy, Witkowski? I'm talking to you.
Mr. Witkowski would like to borrow his jacket back.
President Osgood, once thought of as aloof and remote, now seems more in touch with the average American than ever. A change reflected in the latest Gallup poll, which shows him increasingly ahead.
Why don't we know how this is happening?
Well, Horner runs a very tight ship, sir.
Well, she can't keep a secret forever. Because she still thinks nobody knows about Nixon's hairpiece.
Sir, at the risk of sounding rather like your junior advisor, you are kicking butt, Mr. President.
The latest polling data indicates you're up 9 points with likely voters.
Nice work, people.
Harris must have no idea what hit him. Let's say you put the final nail in the coffin at the debate tomorrow night.
What was that?
Nothing, I sneezed.
Gene, why don't you take the rest of the night off? We've all been working hard.
Okay.
Good night, Mr. President.
Good night. It's a nice shot.
With all this practice, I can't wait to get back to my school league. Oh, sorry. Time to go, huh?
Oh, no. You can finish up. What inning are you in?
Frame. There are 10 frames. I'm in the 8th.
Oh. Well, they never had many bowling alleys at my yacht club, I'm afraid.
Well, we're even. They don't have yachts at my bowling alley.
Kenny, your help has been invaluable. Thank you.
No sweat. It's actually been kind of fun, getting involved in politics. Heck, my dad doesn't even vote. He thinks all politicians are a bunch of... I mean, he wanted to vote, last time, for you, of course, but he had to, do something. Want to give it a try?
What, ball?
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Right there. Straight down. Keep your back straight.
This scoring thing is more difficult than balancing the budget.
Most of the better lanes have automatic scores now. Yes!
All right. Good shot. That's a spare, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What college did you go to?
Harvard.
Don't they teach math?
Ouch. I really munched on that one. Now what?
That's a 7-10 split. 2 ways to try it. You can play it safe and make sure you pick up at least 1 pin, or you can go for broke and try to slide the 7 in to pick up the spare.
Okay. I'm a moderate.
Dad? They're ready in the screening room. I thought we were going to watch First Kid today.
Oh, right. Dear, why don't you get started and I'll meet you up there. Oh, Madison, this is Kenny Witkowski. Kenny, my daughter, Madison.
Hi. Hi. Teaching my dad how to bowl?
Trying to. He said he wanted to learn so you guys could play sometime. Spend some time together.
Well,
you forgot, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't you get started? That's what all parents say when they either forgot or blowing their kids off. But we know.
I try to make it up to her. I mean, just last week I let her invite some friends to the state dinner for a private concert by John Tesh.
John Tesh? She likes John Tesh?
Well, I don't know. I do.
If you wanted to make it up to her, you should have invited somebody like Garbage.
Well, I don't know how that would look for me at a state dinner. I can just see the headlines. President has garbage in White House. I don't think so.
Then don't say you were trying to do it for her. Kids know that one, too. No, better get home. It's getting late.
Thanks, Kenny.
You already thanked me.
For the bowling lessons. For everything.
No problem, Mr. President.
called you last night to play Mortal Carnage.
Oh, right. Last night, I was at the arcade.
No, you weren't. I went there right after I called your house.
Right. Well, you must have missed me.
Hi.
Hi.
I bought our tickets to the fall dance today.
Oh, great. I'll pay you back tomorrow.
You don't have to. You can just pay me back with that test. My mom couldn't pick me up today. Do you want to walk me home?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, bye. See you later. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine.
Now, if you turn to page 26 regarding Russian activities within our borders, you'll note the Economic Development Office is as busy as ever. Yes, sir.
Why would the Russians be interested in a warehouse worker from Baltimore?
Well, Senator, it seems that President Osgood has entered the cyber age.
Oh, Mrs. Witkowski. I was so sorry to hear about Kenny's Uncle Ozzy.
Uncle Ozzy?
Must be very difficult to go through a bone marrow transplant so soon after a liver operation.
Liver operation?
And all this happening while your husband's on his business trip to Costa Rica.
Oh, give me his name.
I can't tell you his name. I'd be kicked off the Intelligence Committee for telling you this much.
Look, don't give me any of that national security crap. I've got an election to win here. I've got a debate in 5 minutes.
Well, that's the best I can do.
Sir, they're ready.
So am I.
Now, how is Harris's unemployment plan like the ending to the first Star Wars movie?
Our regularly scheduled program will not be seen tonight so that we may bring you the final presidential debate between A. Thorton...
Lindsay, what are you doing? I was watching the debate first.
We now go live to Gorson Hall.
Mr. Harris, you won the flip of the coin. You may begin your opening remarks.
Thank you. Costa Rica? If you vote for me on Election Day. Thank you.
Mr. President, you now have the floor.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Sorry we had to preempt the good shows tonight, but unfortunately, we face some problems in this country, and, well, we need to fix them together.
Well, the president's flat tax proposal is regressive. Surely the more one makes, the more one should pay, as much as one can shoulder.
I may take a beating on this, but I disagree. Why penalize people for trying to succeed? That's like telling your kid the harder he works in the yard, the less allowance you're going to give him.
Consumer Price Index.
From my viewpoint, that's like going for a 2-point conversion.
Well, according to Dr. Barry Nathan from the University of Michigan, we should be increasing farm subsidies by 32%.
Listen to me. Why should we continue to pay farmers to grow food nobody wants to eat? That's like cooking up an extra helping of spinach when you know your kids have already shoveled the first batch under the table to the dog.
He's got him.
Yeah, but then why don't they look worried?
If we stay the course, my advisors project a stabilizing of interest rates over the next 6 months.
Senator Harris, your response.
Thank you. Your advisors, Mr. President, do these advisors who make all of these incredibly complex and sensitive calculations, do they include a certain individual whose identity you are trying to keep secret from the American people? Isn't it true, Mr. President, that you have been making policy decisions on complex issues based on the advice of a complete stranger whom you met while anonymously cruising cyberspace chat rooms? Go on, tell the American people, sir, about this individual who has no experience or no skills in any of these issues. Well, I'll just give you a little hint to jog your memory. He's 40 years old, and he's a resident of Baltimore, Maryland.
Would you care to respond, Mr. President? Mr. President?
Yes. That is absolutely 100% not true. I was not and I am not taking any policy advice from any anonymous 40-year-old Baltimore resident.
Lizzie! Come here, I think you're going to be in for a big surprise.
Far too exigent and amplitudinous for me to be taking policy advice from anyone but my most trusted advisors, period. And that, sir, is no secret.
Well, it could have been worse.
Oh, yeah. They could have showed a yearbook photo of the 40-year-old's 13-year-old son. Oh, boy, if this ever gets out.
I told you, these things always come back to haunt you.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
President Nixon's
you
hair...
want, please. Thank you. Cut to the chase, Tom.
Well, sir, you took some hits. In a poll taken 5 minutes after the debate, you dropped 4 points.
I knew it.
But you're still up 5.
And?
Sir, we're a week until the election. To quote a sporting metaphor, sit on the lead. And play it safe.
Meaning?
In regard to your junior advisor.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Kenny!
Uh-oh. Oh, come on, honey. That's not going to solve anything.
Eugene Witkowski! What?
Don't what me, young man. Your mother just came from a PTA meeting where she found out you have been skipping school.
Who's been writing you all those notes, Kenny? You? Mikey?
The CIA.
Are you on drugs, mister?
What? No, I would never do that. Look, I told you. I've been going to the White House to speak with the president.
The White House?
Yeah. He gave me a beeper.
Oh, Jack, it is drugs!
Ma! Dad, you have to listen to me. I'm telling the truth. Look, we went down to his basement to go bowling, and he's got this old desk from some dead British lady in his office. Look, I can prove it. Ask for the president. Tell him it's me.
You think this is funny?
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and...
Yes, Washington, D.C. I'd like the number for the White House switchboard.
White House switchboard?
Yes, I'd like to speak to the president.
I'm sorry, the president's pretty busy right now. Oh, I see. It's the president's good friend, Kenny. They bowl together.
Ah! His bridge partner called me yesterday.
Oh. Right. No, thank you.
Now, are you going to tell us what is going on?
I already told you.
All right, young man. Until further notice, you are grounded. No television, no computer.
No friends over.
And no friends over. Until you decide to tell us the truth, it's school and your room.
Hey, stranger. Well, the test. You said you'd have the test for me today. It's coming up next week.
Heather, I got a bit of a problem with the, my computer.
Do you have the test for me or not?
No.
Oh, that's just great. What am I supposed to do now?
You could study.
Very funny, Kenny.
Oh, and how about the dance?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, as it turns out, I don't think I'm going to be able to go with you after all.
Okay, we're continuing with our presentations. Up today are Joey Nader, Cindy Gardner, and Kenny Witkowski.
Witkowski. What? What? What do you want to borrow now? You want to borrow my F in civics class? Or how about my application to summer school? You want to borrow that? Huh? No, I know, you can borrow my computer. Well, guess what? I don't have a computer anymore. You can borrow my date to the dance. Wrong again, I don't have a date to the dance. Not that it would matter because I'm grounded until who knows when. So what do you want?
Nothing. I just wanted to say that I'll return that folder I borrowed from you last year, all right?
Good.
Now, see, this is the paragraph you gotta sell. No, sir. No, you can't risk that. Hey, from what I hear, Harris has an army of private detectives in Baltimore. For all we know, they're intercepting this email.
I have to go think.
It's a good idea. Work on the speech, sir. This last one. It's a biggie. We have to blunt Harris's momentum, sir.
Oh, Mrs. Shembri. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to spill my coins in front of you as you walk into your office. Oh.
Thanks, buddy.
What are friends for?
I guess I've been a bit of a jerk recently.
And a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And rude.
Yep.
And really sort of selfish.
Yeah. Okay, I get the point.
So what were you doing in there?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Nice shot, Dad. So, Mom said you wanted to see me when I came home from lunch?
Yeah, I've been practicing so we can play together.
Well, can you teach me how to do that?
No, that was just lucky, but I'll try.
What's that for?
You know, I have no idea. I just know you're supposed to do it. All right. Here.
Now what?
Well, I can play it safe and try to get one pin down, or go for broke and try to slide the 7 into the 10 and pick up the spare.
Where did you learn that?
Kenny.
Oh. He's helped you a lot, hasn't he?
Hmm.
Why don't you call him and tell him?
I can't.
Why not?
It's complicated.
I see. Sounds like an amplitudinous problem, Dad. Well then, you can play it safe, or you can go for broke.
Therefore, it is my plan to shorten school days and extend summer vacation.
So the person you were sending emails to is the President of the United States?
That's right.
Cool.
You believe me?
Sure.
Why?
Kenny, I've known you since first grade and I'm your best friend. And I was at the White House and you disappeared for a 3-hour bathroom break, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So I guess your dad was right. Politicians are all the same.
Yep.
Can't trust them.
Nope.
None of them.
Mm-mm. New sweaters for the varsity pep club.
There's nothing we can do to change things.
Maybe. But then maybe we can.
exercise.
Hey, Matt,
swimming.
how do new sweaters for the varsity pep club help any of us? I mean, how does that benefit anyone with your rich kid friends in the club? And this promise to shorten the school day, how are you, a student, gonna do that? Give us details, not promises. What are you gonna promise next year? A taco stand in the hallway? A dome stadium for the football team? Why don't you talk about something you could do, like raising money for a student computer in the library? Or talking to the janitor about fixing the lockers?
Kenny, why don't we go down to the go-kart tracks where we can talk this over?
No, the problems are here at our school. We're not electing president of the go-kart track. We're electing our class president.
Well, no. Actually, I didn't meet the president himself.
What was that? Hopefully an interesting story.
Listen, Witkowski, I don't have to put up with this. I'm the president.
No, you're a student, Matthew, just like me, and you do have to listen. Because without me, without the rest of us, you aren't the president. I'm sick of complaining that you don't do anything for me. I'm gonna do something about it.
Like what?
Like vote.
For who? I'm running unopposed.
I nominate Kenny for president.
Oh, that was some good stuff.
All I can promise is I'll listen to all of you. From the 9th graders who won't be here next year to the 7th graders who are too young to vote in this election. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Words to remember in this election year. When asked why he was running, the young Mr. Witkowski said, quote, "I realize that if I don't care about student government, why should I be surprised that student government doesn't care about me?" And in related news, Cox Family Amusements today said they're offering free tokens to the first...
Listening to people who can't vote for you. That's the way to run an election.
Oh, come on, you gotta give the kid credit for guts.
Yeah, running for class president, considering all the other problems he's facing.
What other problems?
Never mind that now. You really need to concentrate.
What
on
other
this.
problems?
Nothing. Nothing. He's grounded. He's flunking civics class, and everybody thinks he's a liar. Now, could we please take a look at this?
Yeah, and don't forget he lost his date to the big school dance.
Well, that's really not anything we can handle right now. Would you please?
How do you know all this?
What do you mean? We're keeping tabs on him, of course. We want to know whether the Harris people come snooping around.
This is all because he tried to help me out.
I wouldn't say all, sir. I mean, it's not like he was getting an A in civics class to begin with. Mr. President, you are running neck and neck with Harris. No chances out there.
Dad, the President of the United States is here.
Don't you start with me, too.
Sorry for the impromptu detour. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm here. More importantly, just where here is. Well, I'll answer your questions in just a second.
Okay, Laura, we're going live.
Can Kenny come outside?
He's grounded.
As President of the United States, I hereby officially pardon your son. Now can he come outside?
Hold on. Maggie, the president's here to see you.
Very funny, Dad.
What's going on?
Maggie, apologize to your son. Lindsay, you too.
Oh, my.
I don't want to talk to him.
Hey, you open the door, young man, or you're grounded till you can vote for him.
I'm already grounded.
No, you're not. He just pardoned you.
Honey, if he doesn't want to talk to the president, then maybe he shouldn't have to.
Looks like I'm on my own. This is the home of Kenny Witkowski, the man Senator Harris was talking about the other night. My advisor. Only he's not 40 years old. That's his dad. Kenny is an 8th grader at Davidson Middle School. And I wanted to tell him that I'm sorry. The truth is, I was embarrassed to admit that I, the President of the United States, was taking advice from a 13-year-old. But in the words of a very wise politician, I'm paraphrasing, you have to listen to everybody, not just the ones who can vote for you. I guess I forgot that I'm supposed to uphold a Constitution by the people, for the people, and all the people, period. Kenny helped me remember. So if the people of this country still see fit to re-elect me as their president on Tuesday, I'll still be listening to citizens like Kenny Witkowski.
Yeah, we want to get this later.
A gamble, you say? Sure. But we need to start taking chances again. This country was founded on chances, not the status quo. We became America because we were sick and tired of the status quo. So let's go for it again. Like going for that 7-10 split in bowling. A lot of people may say that I made a bad political decision by coming here today. Well, I think I made a pretty good people decision. Thank you.
You got my vote. That is, if I was old enough to vote.
Then I'll vote for him for you.
Me too. I think I'm still registered.
I hope I didn't get you into too much trouble.
No, I am flunking civics class.
I'll make a call. This has got to be worth some sort of extra credit.
Thank you, Mr. Class President.
Maybe we can get them to play at your dad's inauguration. Thanks, Mike. Shall we?
Yes.
Liberty is on the move. Give him space. Step back, please. Step back. Nothing to see here.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's well, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long week while I'm sitting with committee, but I know I'll be a loss. Yeah, I hope and pray that I'll but today I know. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's well, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long week while I'm sitting with committee, but I know I'll be a loss. Yeah, I hope and pray that I'll but today I know. I'm just a bill.